Toronto Ultra, one major one. Today I'm going to be breaking down how they beat Atlanta FaZe in the grand final, but more importantly map 1, how they took over Karachi Hardpoint. Sit back, relax, and let's break it down. Starting off with the P1, what's happening here? You can see 2 people going towards the hill, 2 people going towards middle. Now, if we kind of go ahead right now, forget P1 for a second, let's just think about the bigger picture. The bigger picture is going to be P2. Now, someone mentioned in my comments, what does P1, P2 mean? P refers to the point, okay? So P1 will refer to point 1, hard point 1. P2 will be hard point 2, and so on, okay? So P1 is going to be the middle area. Toronto starting off with the good side. What you want to do in this scenario is make sure you keep the spawns. That is the most important thing. You want to make sure for P2, you're spawning up very close. Now, again, if we just think about it logically, what is good spawns? If you're spawning back here, and P2 is over there, that's not going to be good spawns, is it? That's about a 30-second, run over there. It's not good spawns. If you're spawning back in this alleyway, I mean, that's pretty much guaranteed time right there. So that's the goal, to keep the good spawns, okay? Now we know that, we can start to play, and we can start to understand their thought process. Going through, initial kills, good stuff there from Kleenex, goes through, gets another one. Insight's going to be in the hill. Now, normally you would see the submachine gun player playing on the hill, and the AR playing on top, but this shows a bit more versatility, and I like this. I like the fact that they're mixing up a little bit. It's not very rigid in terms of their system. You can see Insight watching over, and it's going to be a scrappy P1, okay? A BZ with a bad team nade, going to go through, but again, I'm thinking about the bigger picture. So as all this is happening, I'm taking a look at the minimap, and this is where you're going to see players like Insight, and I really want to highlight this. Players like Insight, although he had a fantastic event yesterday, he was definitely MVP in the finals. He's going to make a lot of plays like this, where he's going to take the route, get about 30-45 seconds on the rotation, and he's not going to have any gunfights. So sometimes you're going to see players like Insight go, 15 and 15, and you're going to be like, okay, what has he really done? Well, he's doing all the dirty work, and he's allowing the more talented natural slayers like Scrappy, Kleenex, who are a bit more aggressive, to really go forward and really capitalize on that. That's why teammates like Insight are so valuable, okay? So you don't need everyone in the map dropping 40, because with that, you're going to lose map control. With this, you're going to have players kind of doing their job and playing to effect. So right now, again, look at the minimap. That's what I'm worried about here. 25 seconds left. Look at number 7, okay? So as I mentioned, with the spawn right now, number 7 in this case is going to be, we'll make him number 1. He's going to go forward, and his first thought is, right, 3 people from Toronto are dead. I need to go, and I need to get the back alley on P2. So as he's rotating around, Insight wins the gunfight. And this is what I mean by value of gunfight. The gunfight that Insight just won, although it's just worth 1 kill in the kill feed, that is worth a lot more. That is worth 30 seconds on the hard point. Look at the minimap. Now, where is Simp going to spawn? Simp is going to spawn back here. Look at this gunfight, the value of this gunfight. Insight kills Simp here. Simp then spawns all the way there. Now that is just very, very rough for Simp, okay? He's gone from basically breaking the hill to going to back chicken. And this is why I say every time, spawns are everything. I don't care about anything else. Get spawns, you get control, okay? Now look, Toronto Ultra going to go through. Good break from FaZe there to get the P1. They get a 5-second lead, very contest heavy, nothing too crazy, but now it's about breaking P2. Although it's very easy sometimes with setups, how do opponents break it? Well, Selim's doing a great job right now. He plays patiently, and you can see what he's doing. He's waiting for his team. So right now, how are Toronto Ultra set up? You can see they've got a nice little setup if we reset the map slightly. So let's kind of look at the minimap and see what they're doing. So they've got 2 people in the back alley, okay? So they've got 2 people around here just watching this side. They've got another one there as well. And then they've got another player sitting here. Then they've got one coming through spawn. If you think about this as a setup right now, this is very, very pushed in. This isn't a great setup, because what happens is you allow FaZe to push through the map. So if you're a team right now, an optimal setup would be somebody maybe sitting in red, somebody in P5, somebody maybe top AC. The point is you want to push out the map. Instead of being trapped in this corner here, you want to have this much map control. Okay? So you want to be in this little box here. If that's the case, then the red team will spawn further out. The closer you are together, the closer the red team spawn. You might end up having Atlanta FaZe spawning here, simply because you guys are so pushed in together. So now again, we know the setup we want. Let's see how they work towards it. So straight away, the first half was not even done, right? Remember, there's still 15 seconds left. So what this means is the team on the left, which is going to be Toronto Ultra, they're going for the rotation. They're setting up for P2. They now know that every gunfight is going to be a 3 versus 4. And this plays into the hands of FaZe. They know they're at the disadvantage. So what can they do? They're going to take their time and win the gunfights. And Selim does a great job. Takes out one, goes forward, tries to get the trade on Insight. Insight slides across here. But you can see Selim. And this is the game awareness you need to start having. So simply, as this is happening, let's take a look at FaZe and what they're doing. So FaZe are going to push to top AC. They're going to try breaking it from the front. It gets a little bit mixy. 1 or 2 players die. You know, they go through, they get traded. Let's see who's left there. So this player's left. This guy spawns out again. And you can see, right, number 2 is going to spawn out back there. As soon as Celium gets that first kill, he now knows the player is going to spawn back here, right? He now knows that player has a high chance of coming up the ladder again. And this is the game awareness. Look at this. He looks for CleanX. And this is just a perfect read. CleanX ends up dying over here. So CleanX was the player that dies here. He ends up spawning there, going up the ladder, and Celium sees him. But what's even more phenomenal is CleanX's ability to stay alive right here. Look at this. He sees Celium. Instead of engaging in a gunfight, which is really, really unlikely, he jumps away, plays his life, and gets information. So now they know, right, Celium is top AC. Cool, that's good information. Celium goes through, CleanX makes him one shot, and he pushes through. Now you can see, Toronto, I don't like this setup. It's a little bit too compact in my opinion. They're playing a little bit tight. But what they're going to do, again, I'm kind of predicting the play before it happens to show you guys the insight, and hopefully that's what happens in the game. So I'm expecting them to get the kills and then push out the lanes and get more map control. So they're going to go through. I don't agree with Celium jumping off there. I don't mind it, but I think it was a very risky play. I've seen people do this in rank play all the time, and I just don't think it's the most effective play. But you have to be careful. There's a time and place to do it. If you look on the minimap, his team has called out this whole area is clear. That's the only reason he pushes out. I guarantee if they didn't have information here, he doesn't jump off and kind of throws his life effectively. But you see, he goes through, he gets one on the flank here, and now Scrap's in. They're in a 2v2. They're now in a 2 versus 1. Scrap goes through, gets a kill, Envoy gets there, gets one, and just like that, FaZe break the hill. It gets mixy. 3v3, 2v2. Perfect stuff right there. Bob, I think what happened with me is I want to have the respawn, but I also want to push up. What do I need to give priority? Okay, we're going to stop this for a second to answer someone's question in the chat, which will relate to the point here. So someone said, I think what happened with me is that I want to have the respawn, but I also want to push up. What do I need to do to give priority? So I think what comes into account there is one person needs to be holding the spawn and the rest can push out. So it's not about what I want to do, it's about what the team needs. So right now, if we look on the minimap, right, let's kind of break that down in the next, I'll answer your question in the next segment when we get a bit more about a breaking spawn. For now, let's just see what FaZe are doing and how they're setting up. So 40 seconds left, they do a really good job of breaking the hill, and you saw the way they did that was first get the kills, second was push through, play as a team, and break as a team, okay? They don't need everyone alive. At the end of the day, it was only Simple alive to win his 1v1, and that's all you need. Now the team's going through. What we said here was Toronto Ultra are spawning back here, right? What we said was Toronto Ultra are spawning back here. This is a great thing for P2, okay? I'm actually going to back off just to reset the map slightly, just so we can kind of break it down again. So this is the spawn point that Toronto Ultra are having, okay? They're spawning back P2. This is an excellent spawn to have, but there is a problem. The problem is if FaZe break you, which is happening now, it becomes very difficult for you to break the hill. I want you guys to remember control. Right now, what you have in this setup is like control. It's very easy to hold the B point, but it's very difficult to break it once the opponent get in. So right now, what you're seeing is a very, very difficult setup for Toronto to break. And this is where you see the better players, the better teams start to rotate. So they're probably going to give it one more go here. Look, they go through. You can see it's very difficult for them to break it. Look, Draza's got the back. Draza and Simp have everything here. Now, I think right there was a bit of a misplay from them. They left Scrap at top AC. You really want to have someone top AC there. They go forward with 30 seconds left here. It's still going to be difficult. You see, this is where the rotations start to happen. This is where players rotate, give up the scrap time, and look at the bigger picture, okay? Look at number 3 in the minimap. Who is it? No one else other than Insight. Insight, heads up play, 20 seconds left. Now, this is really important, okay? Because I spoke about this in the first Hardpoint. Insight's main priority. Someone in the chat asked me, you know, how do I know when to rotate? It's a play style sometimes. So right now, Insight, he's not worried about the kills. He's on 2 kills. He's not thinking, right, I need to go for these 20 seconds. This is so important. I really want you guys to understand this. Insight's not thinking, I need to push these 20 seconds. No, he's thinking, right, I need to get the new hill and guarantee us 50 seconds there. So look what he does here. He goes to the right. As he's going to the right, his team's fighting for the scrap time. It's still important to have people fighting for the scrap time because you put pressure on the opponent, okay? But number 5 is going to be Draza. Number 2, Insight, they're going to go through. Now, let's see where everyone spawns up. If you're looking at this scenario, you can say, right, Toronto gets 10 seconds, but FaZe have a great setup. It's all going to be on Insight right now. No, sorry, not Insight. It's going to be... Wait, am I faded? Is it number 2? Okay, I think I was trolling right there. Let me back off. Yeah, okay. Insight was here, number 3. So Insight's... Okay, this is fine now. I was a bit confused, yeah. So Insight's going to go through middle. Now Envoy, with 15 seconds left, he's going to rotate here. So now Insight and Envoy are going to rotate. You see Insight going through the middle. He's now going to try pinching from top junk, okay? So what they're going to try to do is they're going to try to collapse on the hill. But you can see right now, Insight's got to play his life. Now, me personally, I probably prefer him stacking with Envoy on the right, going through the right and taking it there. But I'm very interested to see how Insight plays this and what he does here. So he's going to go through. He's going to play the top middle area. He gets that first kill. Interesting. So he actually changes his approach, okay? And this is why I think it's interesting. If you're a player here, this is Insight right now, okay? He has 3 decisions. 1 is to push chicken. 1 is to go through middle. We actually has 4 decisions. 1 to go up the ladder. And 1 to go red. In this scenario, I thought he would go to the right. He ends up going towards red, okay? So what I want to see is why he did that and what the consequences are. So he gets his first kill. Now, this is really important. MW3 might end up spawning out here. Let's see. There you go. So the reason why I think this was a really good play was simply because of this. I'm going to just make this a little bit faster by backing off. This was an excellent play from Toronto Ultra. So FaZe had this setup here, okay? So they had somebody here. They had somebody on the old hill, you could say. And then they... Let me back off slightly and see the setup they had. There you go. This was their current setup, okay? So they had 2 people here. 1 player there. 1 player playing at the... Kind of at the back area here. And then they had another player pushed out slightly like this, okay? So Envoy was making the play in the flank. So Envoy's kind of blocking the chicken spawns right now. And you can see the rest of the team are going through red. This is why a player in the pinch is so important. Envoy blocking this spawn here has blocked this area, and what that means is the other team are going to spawn out now. This is really, really effective. So as Insight goes through and he gets the kill here, they're going to basically block both spawn points. So they're going to block this spawn here because they're so close. You see they're pushing up, and they're also going to block chicken. Now, there is a world where I see a BZ spawn back here, to be honest with you. It's definitely not a crazy scenario. There's definitely times we can spawn there. But what you can see right now is they made the play, they push up the spawn, they end up making a BZ spawn all the way back there. And it's just a really, really good pinch there, really effective stuff. And you can start to understand the spawns a bit more and how they kind of piece together. So now they're going to go through 2 versus 2. They're going to go through the right-hand side and look at the amount of numbers, the amount of pressure they're putting on. Remember, there's 3 people here. There's only 1 player on the right, which is Celium. Now, I've sat on this head glitch before where Celium is, and I've got 4-piece, 5-piece, 6-piece, because they're coming 1 at a time. It's so simple. But what they're doing so effectively is look how they're playing their life. And this is ultimate teamwork right now. They need to break a difficult hill. Insight's by himself. He's not overcommitting. So look at this. His shoulders. Okay, he sees Celium, chucks a stun over. Shoulders again. Goes prone. Now look at this. He's weak, okay? Kleenex is running through, basically playing as the bait. As Kleenex is running through, Scrap is challenging him. There is no way Celium can physically take out all 3 people right now. Celium goes through. He re-angles onto Scrap. Scrap gets a kill. That's a kill. As that's happening, guess what? Envoy on the pinch here. He's pushing up. Now, both arrows are facing Envoy. As they're facing Envoy, Kleenex, this man isn't waiting. He's already there. Look how fast Kleenex is. He's pushing through now. They've just killed Envoy, okay? So, one thing is, Envoy played his life to perfection on the pinch. That is a valuable death, in my opinion. Those are the things we just don't see on the KD. So if you look at the KD, Envoy's 2 and 6 having a rough game. What he did right there, the fact that he played his life for that long was so valuable. Now, by the time they kill him, look at number 4. He's already there. He kills Draza. He goes through and he basically just about kills Simps there. Just about to kill Simp. So right there was a really good break from Toronto. If he wins that gunfight, it was a perfect break. But what you saw was just the individual talent and effectiveness of FaZe. So it was an excellent break from Toronto, but an even better hold from FaZe. Look at this angle from number 6 here. So Simp gets 1, and look at this, MW3. The pure speed and efficiency. He gets there first, goes through, gets 1, gets a second, and they go through and get the trade. MW3's 5 seconds later, they don't get that. So really, really good stuff from both teams. And that's what the battle is. It's about the breaks. It's about the holds. How they can pinch hills. How they can hold it. All that good stuff. Going forward there, 30 seconds left. They're going to push through the right. Number 4 is going to be Kleenex going through the middle. You see he goes through. He should be able to take out somebody off the hill. It's getting mixy. You see he goes through, gets very aggressive here. And it's just going to be a battle of trades. But look at the speed that Kleenex plays at. The speed he plays just allows the team to progress. Look at this. He's not holding angles. He's not taking his time. He's just running, heads in, pushing. Now you have to be careful. You have to be effective because look at this. Kleenex gets Simp, goes through. As he's, look at this. MW3's tweaking because Kleenex is coming through the middle. He pre-fires him, but guess what? Those 2 seconds he was distracted allowed for the rest of the team to go through and break the hill. So right now you have such a good balance, okay? You have the flanking of Envoy, you have the patience of Insight, you have the aggression of Scrap, and you have the aggression of Kleenex. Into the new area now, it's going to be P4. Now we have to remember, okay, these are obviously the new spawns. So these are obviously the old spawns and the old patch. It's going to be a bit different, so I'm not going to spend too long on this specific hill, but what I'm going to focusing on is the teamwork and how they break you, okay? So starting off, what's going to happen here? Drazah goes through, you see this, Kleenex gets 1, and now Kleenex wins so many gunfights like that where I'm like, I don't know how this guy wins it. And there's a reason why he won MVP. It's not just the pacing he sets, but the fact that he can win so many gunfights in this type of game. He is probably the best SMG in the game right now, considering the other SMGs are not playing to their standard. People like, people like, what's his face? Abizi, Shotzi, Hydra, all these aggressive SMGs are just not having success. Kleenex is the one anomaly who's really turning up this game. But FaZe on the other side of things, perfect break again. We cannot forget how good FaZe is as a team. They go through, they get 2, Kleenex gets 2, Envoy gets 1. And this hill is just very mixy. We're going to just kind of play it out right now because, again, we don't care too much about this specific hill. It's more about the break here. So if we look forward, you can see Envoy gets another one. And it's all about the teamwork, about playing effectively. Even how he's holding this top area, you can see what he's doing, right? He's strafing left and right, shouldering for information, and just trying to be a menace to the team. And that's exactly what you want to do. Now, let's take a look at the minimap and fast forward slightly. 10 seconds left here. It's all about the rotation going into P5. Number 1, it's going to be Scrap here. But before we go to number 1, let's look at number 7 on the minimap. He's probably going to get the kill here. So 7v1's huge here. Let's take a look. So Scrap's playing in a really good corner, and he might get good timing on 7 here. Okay, that gunfight. Again, I talk about valuable gunfights all the time. Let's just think about this for a second, okay? If number 1 dies here, number 4 is left in a 1v1. Number 8 then pinches the hill, and they're not in a good spot. They're really not in a good spot. The fact that he wins his gunfight, it's just a gunfight that you don't see too much in terms of, it doesn't, you know, it just counts as 1 kill. This is not just 1 kill. This is a 25-second point kill right now. This kill is huge. He gets the kill. Now he has this whole P2 area. He's going to go forward. Now look at the spawns. Getting that kill is guaranteed the back spawns, and look how fast Simp has spawned there. Again, it's the exact same thing we saw earlier, okay? Exact same thing. Scrap getting the kill here with, what's his face? Simp coming behind him. Scrap getting that kill. Playing just a cruddy angle, going through, getting that kill has changed the outlook of this map here, right? Because Simp, instead of pushing through and pinching the hill, he's now spawned all the way back here. Now they're going to go through this area, and it's just going to make the hill a lot easier to hold. So they're going to go through. Inside's going to watch the middle map pair. Number 4 is going to be Kleenex in the new hill. Inside gets 1 middle, and now they know they're all going to be coming through junk, okay? So the callout's going to be they're all coming through junk. So what Scrap normally does, I've seen him do this in the past, is he just watches the front hill and makes sure nobody jumps down. I saw this against New York, right? Because Hydra, he kept on going around and trying to flank, and Scrappy just kept on shutting him down. So that's exactly what he's going to do right now. Look at this. Let's go through. You see right now, they're collectively pinching the hill. So right now, Toronto Ultra, what their job is going to be doing is funneling the FaZe team through here. If you're FaZe, you want to go through different angles, that's not happening. Toronto are stopping that. They're making sure you funnel through this area, doing a phenomenal job right now. So they're going to go through. Again, look at this. They're funneling them through. Look, Insight's holding middle. Envoy's holding middle. Insight's holding top red now. He probably should have held that earlier, to be honest. It looked like Envoy had middle. And they're just doing a great job. You know, they go through. But FaZe, although they were trapped, a really good job there getting the kills. And I have to say, Insight, a little bit trolly there. Probably should have just held top red, and they would have been good to go. But this is what happens against good teams. If your setup has even 1 hole in it, they'll break it. They go through, they get 2, they get the 3, and just like that, they're back in the hill. Look at that. Look at the teamwork there. They break the hill with ease. Now, what we're watching right now is 2 amazing teams go back and forward, okay? And what I'm learning is how effective the teamwork is. There's no individual kills. Every kill is followed by a trade. Every kill is followed by, you know, a movement from 2 players. It's always a lot of teamwork. Insight goes through. He's not able to get to the top just yet, so this is important. He knows top third's a power position. He's not able to get there just yet because of the spawn. Instead of panicking and running, he's just going to hold the angle. Playing patience, hold the angle. Look at this, patience, perfect. Goes through, takes out Drazah, and now Scrap's going to be on the hill. Probably, I wouldn't say he's a good play right now because he's by himself, but let's see what happens. Okay, not bad. He's got players over him. Kleenex goes through, and look at Kleenex just flying in there. But I was going to say right there, I think FaZe just had a nice kind of pinch on them. I was going to say this was a good play, but I just feel like FaZe had a good pinch on them. You see Simp goes through. No one really had red. Simp gets 1 and backs away with his life. Good stuff there from FaZe. Goes through, they get a 3. And this is a really good map so far. Celium holding the top area. But again, second rotation, what do we see? We see P2 absolutely as a priority for Toronto, okay? So they're going to go forward, they're going to make sure they hold those P2 spawns, and I'm interested to see when somebody from FaZe rotates. So let's take a look at the mini-map and keep an eye on the rotation. So Insight, again, playing a crazy spot right now. He knows somebody might be top third, so he's going to go through, they get two. That is a perfect play. Look at this play right now. Insight's going to watch the hill. As Insight's watching the hill, they're obviously communicating. He's telling somebody, make sure you have my top third. Kleenex, this is a gunfight that he just shouldn't win. Like, how is he winning this? Kleenex is top stairs. He must have slide cancelled in and fried Celium. And Celium is the best player in this game, in my opinion. The fact that Kleenex wins that, again, that's a gunfight we just don't even, like, that is not a one-kill gunfight. That is a ridiculous gunfight. But again, look at the minimap. It's going to be Scrap. He's going to back off slightly here. And now look at this. They have the perfect spawns. They know exactly what to watch, exactly where to go to keep FaZe spawning out. Number 3 is going to be that man Insight. 13 and 9, a minute 15 in the hill. Just a really clean performance. Goes through. Scrap gets another kill. Now you can see the ARs of Toronto. They're set up at P2. This is perfect. This is a perfect hold for Toronto Ultra. Really good P1. They give the rest of the time to FaZe, but it doesn't matter. Now, do you remember what I said earlier? You don't want to be trapped in this area, okay? You don't want to be trapped in the P2 area. What you want to do is you want to have a lot more map control. So what they're doing now, as you can see, is they're having somebody from Toronto push up into P5. That way, when they push through, the red team, when FaZe push through P5, you know, Kleenex will get those 3 kills. That's exactly what he's doing. He goes through, spots Simp up top, makes him one shot, goes back again, and he's just watching the bottom area. So far, so good from Toronto. Just doing a really good job of kind of holding this area. And you can see this hill's going to be hard for them to get broken. But as I say that, Draza, what a two-piece. The setup is only good as your players there. And right there, I mean, I have to say, FaZe just did an amazing job of breaking the setup. You're going up against one of the best teams in the world. And right there is an example. Even with a good setup, if you switch off for a second, you're going to get broken. There is no reason why they should get broken right there. Against a bottom team, that's a 60 seconds in my opinion. But against Atlanta FaZe, you can see even one gap in your setup, that's a free kill from them. They go forward. Now right now I don't like this from Scrap. I don't love this from Draza. If he's weak there, he should have played his communication a bit better. What he could have done right there was he could have probably traded with Celium, and they probably could have got the kill on Scrap without losing the life. The problem you have is the numbers are going in the way of Toronto right now. Look at that. They get through, they get 2, Envoy gets another one. It's not about the kills right now. It's about the team kills. As a team, did you get more kills than them? If the answer is no, you're going to lose a team fight. You see it right now. Envoy gets another one, and this is so important. Number 1, Scrap. He's actually ahead of rotation right now. He's going through middle. He's getting there quickly. Now you can see Toronto. Big lead here, but it's all going to be down to number 1. Number 1 versus number 8. Celium versus Scrap for the rotation. You see, they're playing for the gunfight, and Celium gets the kill. That is the danger of rotating later than the opponent. Celium went to the back there. Fantastic play. And again, I've mentioned it 100 times now. Each kill is not the same. That is an example of a kill that is very, very important. Now, knowing the map now, the amount of times I play this, I'm assuming Scrap's going to spawn here. Let's see. He should spawn here, I'm guessing. There you go. So my knowledge was kind of right there. I assumed he's going to spawn around there. The reason I knew that was because there's a weird parallel spawn you get. In a realistic world right now, I think Draza should spawn at the back with his team. I think that's fair to say. For some reason, they get a weird split spawn. Unless you're blocking everything perfectly, you get a weird split spawn. So although Draza spawn at the back there, Scrap still spawn with him. But if you can learn those anomaly spawns, there's one on Terminal, there's the one on Invasion on Palace Hill, there's one on Karachi on this hill, there's a few weird ones. If you can get to hangs with those, if you can learn those, you'll be good to go, and the rest of them are slightly more predictable. Especially when the hill's white and the hill's not gone yet. There's a weird timing issue, which kind of makes it the hills off, okay? But going forward, how are Toronto going to break this? They're sending 2 from the bottom. That's a big stun. As they stun across, they're going to slide across here. But this should be a FaZe hardpoint. I don't see a reason how Toronto break this. They go through, they get the kills. And FaZe, I would say, are the best team in the game at holding kills. From what I've seen this weekend, I think FaZe are the best team at holding kills. They've been amazing at holding kills. Now, they have lost a few hard points. They lost one to Optic. They lost, they lost them to Toronto. I would say Toronto's the best, actually, but FaZe are definitely second best at holding kills. But in terms of breaking kills, I don't think I've seen a better team than Toronto in a while. Toronto at breaking kills are amazing. But going forward to the new hardpoint again, I'm just going to skip it slightly because it's the old patch here. We don't really care about this hill too much. It's very different to the current P4. So I'm just going to fast forward it. And the rotation, I would say the P5 is fairly similar. So let's see what happens. Again, Scrap, playing the same thing. This is so interesting to me. Scrap and Simp are about to have the same gunfight. Let's see if it goes any different. Now, one thing I'm noticing is they're doing the same thing, but has Simp adjusted? He has, and there you go. Now Simp gets a 2-piece. Let's see where Toronto Ultra are going to spawn. I think they're going to spawn back here. Let's see what happens. So they end up spawning even further out. So one thing I will say from Scrap right there was he played the same angle, but Simp, an intelligent player, learned from it and got the kill. And that's how important that one gunfight is. Now you can see Simp went from spawning there last time Simp spawned here. Now Scrap is end up spawning here. And the whole kind of dynamic of the team is flipped. Now, even game. This is going down to the wire. Who is going to win on the P5? Let's find out as they go forward. This is looking like FaZe's game right now. This is looking like FaZe's game to lose. They've got bottom red. But how did Toronto break it? Well, I don't even know if they do right now. Let's find out. So Simp goes through. They get one. Inside goes through again. The numbers are just going towards an even side here. 2v2. They go forward. And it's looking like one person just going to turn up here. Draza goes through, gets another kill. And honestly, if you're watching this live, you're probably thinking this is FaZe's game to lose once again. They go through. Simp gets another kill. The numbers are just purely going in the way of Atlanta FaZe. The trades are effective. That's a huge two-piece from FaZe. And they're just doing a phenomenal job. It all comes down to the P1. The teamwork we're about to see is unbelievable. To close the game right now from Toronto Ultra, you need pure dominance. And that's exactly what we see in the next 2 minutes here. As we go forward, 220 to 190. You're going to think, all right, this game's over. First of all, great shots from Simp here. Abizi clears a path. Simp goes through. Fantastic shots. That's a three-piece. And honestly, at this point, I thought the game was over. I thought this was done. I thought the map was over. But guess what? It's not. Scrap is the last man up there. Goes forward. Gets taken out here. 4 go down. What can they do? How can this possibly go wrong? But inside, this is where clutch players turn up. Look at this cruise missile. Goes for. I feel like he doesn't get anything. Okay, he does. I thought he didn't get anything. I thought there was a trophy there. But inside goes free. Opened up the blood with a cruise. As this is happening, Kleenex. He wins the gunfight red. This is what I mean. That gunfight, although it counts as 1 kill, that is everything for the team right there. If he dies red, they have no map control. There is no way Scrap gets on the hill. Scrap goes through. He gets on the hill now. Kleenex sitting red. Draza panicking. Going to jump forward. And guess what? Scrap wins it. FaZe, just not disciplined right now. This was not disciplined in my opinion. The play from number 6 as well. To go forward. I don't like this play from number 6. Abizi to flank them right now. I just don't agree with this. I just feel like they're committing too much here, but let's see what happens. They go forward. And they end up getting red right there. Envoy reads the flank. They get 3. But if you look on the minimap, there's a big gap at P2. And this is where I really think FaZe messes up here. I just think FaZe messed up too much here. Envoy going to back off here. They're holding the rest of the hill. But again, they can't win it right now. And you're going to see now they're starting to split towards the left here. They're just playing a little bit nervous. You know, Celium team kills Abizi. A lot of little mistakes happening right now. And I think right now, they're still in control right now. I don't see a game. I don't see a world where they choke this. They only need 17 seconds on the new hill. But for some reason, I feel like they got a bit nervous. I don't know what happened, to be honest with you. And you see right there, 2 big gunfights from Toronto. They open up the map. Okay, interesting. We're going to P2 here. But again, FaZe have the rotation. They're 3v4. What do? And Abizi opens up the blood. Again, this is everything you want from FaZe right now. They've got the rotation. They have the setup. But do you remember what I said earlier? What good teams do now? By the way, I'm not saying they're not a good team. They're an insane team. But obviously, you can't get the setup you want all the time. But I think if they just rotate a little bit earlier, they could have set up like this. This is going to be FaZe in this scenario, right? They could have had a setup like this. They could have had somebody top AC, somebody in hill, maybe somebody like red or wherever they wanted, to be honest. They could even have 2 people in the hill. Because if they can't, if Toronto Ultra in this case, you know, spam through middle and red, they would have had everything covered. And let's say somebody did overextend to the left here. The AR on the hill would have simply had the angle. I think this setup is so much more better, and they would have funneled FaZe through red, and I think they would have won the game here. Even if FaZe pushed like this, like I still think Toronto have the advantage right now. But sorry, I think the other way around. I think if Toronto pushed like this as the red team, I think FaZe still have the advantage right now. But you see what happens. They go through inside. He spots Abizi. This is just not where you want to be from Abizi. Like right now where Abizi is, it's not where you want to be. You want your ARs watching this angle from the hill. They're going to go through, but how do they break this? Look at that. I just don't think that should happen. I really don't. You don't want Abizi watching that lane. This specific lane, if you guys have played the game, you guys know the player in hill has a nasty head glitch to watch that lane. You can't really push this lane because the guy in the hill is watching it. So I just don't know why he did this. I really don't. He goes through Abizi by himself, but again, it's down to the kill right now. Inside. What a kill. Chucks his stun, cooks his grenade, cooks it perfectly, bounces it off, and he just fries Abizi. That's the first blood. The fact that they're letting Kleenex go from here all the way here is just not good enough. This is what I mean by number 3. Instead of being back here, playing back alley, I think he needs to be in P5, getting more aggressive and taking the fights to them. They're playing a bit too passive for me, and I don't know what it is. Obviously, it's easy for me to see at home, the pressure, everything, you know, how fast the game is, going up against the best team in the world. There's so many variables, but I just don't think they should have played this passive here. They go forward. Now look. There is 0.000 chance you should let Kleenex jump in the front door and kill your main sub off the hill. That should not happen. I don't care at what level, that should not happen. They go through, they get taken out, and he almost gets a 2-piece. He goes forward, the trophy's gone. Great play from inside. Now they know, right, there's no trophy. We can just break him through the front. There's no trophy. Spam your equipment. And that's exactly what they're doing. They're going through the front. Scrap gets 2. This just shouldn't happen right now. This is unacceptable. Plays his life well, stuns him. They get a 3-piece. Inside gets 2. Now look at this. They've got the kills on the hill. So not only have they got the kills now, they've taken out the blue team. The blue team are now spawning back here. And like we said earlier, this is the good spawn at the start. This is not the spawn you want to have when you get broken. This is really not the spawn you want to have, because there's only one way to go through, and that's a very, very easy gunfight for, in this case, Insight and Kleenex. They're going to watch this area, they're going to watch this angle, and trust me, this is not where you want to be if you're Atlanta FaZe right now. They die. I promise you, as they're jumping through this wall, this is a stressful jump right now. And BZ, he knows there's no many options. He goes through, he gets taken out, and they just don't have anything to do. Now, this is what I want to talk about. Look at number 7. Simp is trying to go through this alleyway, right? And he's finding struggles because someone's on the hill. Why did a BZ need to push out? He simply should have played back there. You can see it's impossible to break that hill. I just feel like Atlanta FaZe had this in the bag and they just fumbled it, in my opinion. Toronto, fantastic, fantastic play. My voice is gone. But hey, YouTube, hope you guys enjoyed the in-depth breakdown. That was how Toronto Ultra clutched up to win Major 1. Make sure to drop a like on the channel, and I'll catch you guys for another video tomorrow. Peace.